In a quiet village surrounded by green fields and tall trees, there lived a young woman named ASA. Everyone in the village loved her, for she was kind, gentle, and full of joy. Children followed her wherever she went, holding her hands and calling her name. She laughed with them, taught them little songs, and played as if she too were a child. The elders also adored her. Whenever they sat outside their homes, ASA stopped to greet them, to listen to their stories, or to carry water for them. ASA is like the sun, they often said. She warms our hearts. Her beauty was often spoken of, but people agreed that her true beauty was in her heart. She gave food to the hungry, comforted the sick, and stayed beside those who were lonely. Her laughter was like music, soft and bright, and people said it could heal even the saddest soul. The whole village seemed brighter because of her. But life is not always gentle. One year, heavy storms came. The rain fell without end, destroying the crops. Hunger spread, and fear filled the air. At the same time, sickness struck the village. Families mourned their loved ones, and ASA's family suffered the most. Her father was the first to fall ill, and though ASA cared for him day and night, he did not survive. Soon after, her mother grew weak, and ASA's tears could not save her either. At last, her younger brother became sick, and before long she was left completely alone. The ASA who had once been like sunlight began to fade. Her smile grew weak, and her laughter disappeared. She still tried to help others. She stitched clothes for children even when her fingers ached, and she sang to crying mothers even when her own heart was breaking. But her strength grew less with each passing day. The villagers noticed her change. At first, they pitied her. But soon whispers began to spread. She is not the same anymore, they said. Her beauty is gone. She was a star once, but now she has fallen. ASA heard their words, and they cut her deeply. She began to avoid people, walking alone and keeping her face hidden. The girl who had once been the joy of the village now felt like a candle burning low. One morning, ASA walked to the river. She sat on a rock and watched the water flow. The river had faced storms and floods, and it carried mud and broken branches, yet it still moved forward, shining under the sun. ASA looked at it and whispered, "If the river can keep moving after the storm, then so can I." In that moment, a small spark returned to her heart. It was not the same bright light she once had, but it was steady and real. From that day on, ASA lived differently. She no longer tried to be the shining sun of the village. Instead, she became like a lantern, softer but steady, glowing with quiet warmth. She began to notice the small joys around her, the laughter of a child, a flower growing through cracked soil, the gentle colors of the sky at sunset. She smiled again, not because she had no pain, but because she had learned to carry it with courage. The villagers began to see her in a new way. They no longer whispered about her fall. Instead, they spoke of her strength. ASA is not like she was before, they said. But she is stronger now. Her beauty is deeper than before. One evening, the village gathered for a small festival. ASA joined them once more. She danced slowly with the children and guided the elders to their seats. When she laughed, the sound was softer than before, but it carried more meaning, and the people listened with wonder. They saw that ASA was no longer only the sun that once brightened their days. She had become something else, something lasting, a star shining gently through the night. And so ASA's story did not end in sorrow. Though she lost much, she found a new kind of strength and a new kind of joy. The village remembered her, not only as the girl who once lit up the day, but as the woman who proved that even after darkness, light can return.